Alright, it's about that time. Gonna be redoing the sound system on the E39. It's gonna be all the same equipment, all that stuff. The only difference is, instead of having the amps exposed, I'm gonna kind of hide them out of the way. And the reason why I'm gonna do this is I kind of want to clean up the look of the car a little bit. So I think by keeping everything kind of out of sight, out of mind, will make it look a little bit better. Plus, I'll have some ability to use the trunk and put stuff in the future, which is what I kind of need a little bit of. Got some wood, some stainless steel hardware, some drills, new saw, and gonna kind of have at it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna secure this amp rack to the floor of the trunk. The first thing I'm gonna have to do is actually drill holes into the floor here, and I'm going to secure this wood with this stainless steel hardware. I'm going to bolt it to the actual body of the car, undercoat everything later on so it doesn't rust. But just need to clear that little hump there, which is originally for the spare tires, so that's why I'm going to do it this way. At the moment, I've got my power cap charging. Just want to maintain the voltage level on it, so I have it on this battery charger. It'll do the job. I don't have that bulb that came with it anymore, so I don't know where that went. Didn't want to buy a new one, just doing it this way. I'm also not going to get into the debate of power caps and are they good or are they not. For car audio competition level, obviously not the greatest. But you can watch Steve Mead's channel or Exo Contralto's channel for any of the sound system information. They got that covered. I'm just showing you how I'm doing this for Project E39, which is starting to come along pretty good at the moment. But I'm tired of listening to music through headphones, so that's got to change. Alright, I cut the supports, measured twice to make sure, test fit it. I also marked off in the trunk where I'd be drilling the holes. I'm going to do a 3/8 drill. And next up I'm going to do is just drill it out. Alright, so the next thing I have to do is drill the holes into the wood that correspond to these holes I drilled in the trunk. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to lay these pieces into the trunk. I'm going to take Sharpie, I'm going to mark it through the holes, and I'm going to drill the holes through the wood based on where those markings are. So I'm going to go do that real quick. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to drill out these holes a little bit so that I can recess the top of the bolt. So basically it's not, sticking out like that. I want to recess it a little bit. So I also have a drill bit I bought for that, which is over here. This will allow me to recess everything a little bit. Hardware that I'm going to use will sit underneath the mounting point for the amp rack. This will just kind of keep everything a little bit cleaner and neater looking as well. And I just used basically a wood bit to sort of drill in on this a little bit so that it gets recessed. Pretty easy to do. Alright, that's the foundation of the amp rack in. As you see, they run straight through the bottom. I have the hardware to tighten everything down with. I'm away on that right now, only because I have to fully secure everything. This is grade 5 hardware that I'm using, so pretty heavy duty, definitely more than what I need for the application it's on, but This is good stuff. It's not going to corrode and get nasty over time. So this will stay up to the task. What I'm going to do is, once everything is kind of completed, what I'm going to probably do is cut off the excess here and paint it over or use an undercoating on it to ensure that it doesn't rust over time. Alright, so I got the base for the amp rack secured. Definitely not going to move anywhere. So that's the first part I need to get done is done. Now I just need to see if the top part of the amp rack will cover this. If it doesn't cover it, I'm going to have to add a little bit more wood, which is why I have that right there. I'll add the pieces that I need to it, and I'll kind of go from there, but I think this should clear, should be okay. I got the amp rack all on the car now, it's all secured. Definitely not moving anywhere. This is kind of how I'm thinking about laying out the amps. I gotta think about wiring a little bit, but that's how I'm gonna lay it out. I'll probably throw the power cap in the back here. I have my ground that I'm using right there. Probably not going to film too much of what's going to happen next. I got to focus on what I'm doing, but definitely have the end results. And as long as it works, which it should, you know, definitely show that. So after about 3 hours, finally got everything working. Right now I'm just kind of buttoning everything up, making sure that the wires are good to go. I'm going to do a little bit of tuning. The capacitor before wasn't holding a charge when I attached it to the car, and I quickly found out that's because it didn't have the ground completely secured. So don't be afraid to check that, you know. Other than that, you know, I turned the car on real quick, and it sounded good. So definitely happy to have some tunes again. I'm going to redo the trim panel that covers all this. Probably be redoing the box in the future. I'm thinking about doing a band pass into the car. Subwoofers facing out back, plexiglass face, who knows. Just kind of a thought for now. But I'm just going to button everything up, kind of put everything back together, and definitely get a little bit more enjoyment out of this car. I've been listening to music on headphones the last couple days. I'm buttoning up all the stuff under the car right now. I'm going to probably do it tomorrow. Get some undercoating, spray paint, I don't know yet, figure that out. Do a little bit sound deadening in the back here in the future. But other than that, things are starting to shape up. About another month or so I'll have the new bumper on. Loving the new Varstone wheels. I've got a lot of respect about them. Perfect fitment in the back. Didn't think the tires would stretch as much as they did, but that's okay. Looking good for the most part. Gonna go back to the black impact strips, but things are going pretty good for right now at the moment. Got a little bit of a mess to clean up here, but other than that, we'll be good to go soon, and maybe play some tune skis later.